Hello students. So in our server side scripting, in last session we have seen some string functions in PHP, PHP arrays, type of arrays that are indexed array, associative arrays, multidimensional arrays, how to initiate the array and how to assign values to that array. PHP user defined functions. What is mean by user defined functions? PHP function with arguments. What is mean by argument? How we can pass arguments? Returning the value from function. If we define any user defined function, then how to return or get back value from that function, that we have seen. Now we will study about PHP form handling. What is mean by form? Form means any normal form. For example, if you want to take admission, then first you have to fill up admission form. In that admission form, what you are doing? You are adding your information, whatever they asked. That is your name, address, phone number, gender, birth date, etc. Similarly, in PHP form handling also, we are going to do the same thing. We will provide one form and we will ask the user to enter the information. Once the user enter that information, then we will submit that information to our PHP file. So we already seen how to create form in HTML. How we are creating form? In HTML, we are creating form by using form tag. By using form tag. See, here is the code to create normal form. What I did, this is my first line of code, that is doc type HTML as it is HTML5. Next starting tag HTML. Next here I didn't write head section. I directly start here from body section. In that body section, to create form, here I wrote the code for form. First, just forget about this. We will discuss about this in later. First, just see form name equal to F1. Next line is name equal to input type is equal to text, name equal to T1. Means I want to give one text box where user can write his or her name, as the label of this text box is name. Next, I want to give another text box which will allow user to enter his or her email ID. And next, I want to submit that both name and email ID by click on the submit button. So I am going to provide here one submit button. Here for three of these form elements, what I took, input tag. Next attribute is type. For to enter the name, I am going to give type equal to text value. So it will give me one text box. Here the name of that text box. This value, whatever we want, we can provide. Next, to give email, I am going to write here one input tag. In that type attribute, I am going to provide value as email. Why email? Because if I wrote here text, then I need to write the validations for email. Validation means our name is any characters, string of or a combination of characters. But in case of email, it is not like that. It is combination of not only characters. It is combination of not only numbers, but it includes some special characters. As suppose I want to write any name, then how I can write, email ID, then how can I write, suppose ABC abc.com. So this is the way of writing email ID. Means this character is compulsory, you have to write, and .com is also compulsory. So for this purpose you need to give validations. So for that purpose again you need to write some user defined functions. But to avoid all these things, what you can do, you can directly use type equal to email. So this input type is having built-in validations. We no need to write any validation code for this thing. Then next one is name. We can write the name, whatever we want to give, we can give here. Name equal to, here I given T2. And the third one is I want to submit this information. So for that purpose I have one input element as type equal to submit. Type equal to submit. Name equal to, this is button 1. So by using this, what it will do, when I will execute the code, I will get one simple form. On that I am having one name as a label and one text box. Second, email as a label. Next, text box to enter the email. So if I am going to submit without writing any information, it's not giving any error for me. So if suppose I wrote any information here, and then it will transfer only this information. It's not asking me to enter email ID. But as I am entering only half of email ID and I am going to submit, then please include an @ in email address. So this is built-in validation. This is built-in validation. I can pass blank value, but I can't pass incomplete value. Like that, this email is giving us built-in validations. Means we need to write proper email ID. If we either write proper email ID, if we not, you can pass blank value. If you want to give user as please pass email, don't pass blank field, then you need to write here some function code, user defined function, which will not allow user to enter a blank value. So this is our normal form. Now I want to pass this information to my PHP page. Why? To display the information. I just want to display the information. This is normal HTML page which I want to submit to server. And whatever I entered that value and whatever I submitted, that I want to see again. So I need to create two files here. One is HTML, another is PHP. In HTML form, what I will do, I will write the code for form. Next, I want to handle this form. So for that purpose, you need to write two attributes here. First is action attribute, second one is method attribute. First, action attribute, what it does, this action attribute, when you click on this submit button, then where you want to submit this file, that place is denoted by this action attribute. That value is denoted by this action attribute. So action attribute takes the value, means name of file where you want to submit this form. Next, method attribute. Here you have two methods. In PHP you have two methods, either get or post. So by using any one of these value, you can submit the form. but these both methods acts differently. These both methods acts differently. If you didn't write any name here, if you didn't write any name here, then by default or default method for form tag is get method. Which one? Default method for form tag is get method. If you didn't write here method equal to post or method equal to get, then by default your browser considered you are going to submit this form by using method equal to get attribute. So get is a default method, and if you want to provide the name of the method as post, you need to write it. You need to write it method equal to post. So we are going to see what are the differences. So we'll go first with get method. For that purpose, just I need to write method equal to get. Otherwise, if I didn't write, it will take by default method as get. See, I'm not writing any method. We will check what is happening there. Next, I need to create, as I already told, I need to create two files. First is .html. Create this file, save it with name of your file .html. Where you are going to save this file? You need to save this file in your C drive XAMPP folder. In your C drive XAMPP folder htdocs. Here you need to save that file. Next, you need to write code for PHP file. You need to create another file, as you are going to submit your file where sampleform.php. You only created one file, that is .html file, but you need to create other file. Which file? The name which you already given here. So create another file, write the code for that file. That what you want to submit? You want to submit first name and second email address. So this is PHP code for name. PHP echo here variable post. Here what is post variable? As we are going to submit the file with get method, we will write here get. PHP echo $get. This is name of get variable. Name of method variable, that is get. Name of method variable, that is get, which is also known as super global. And which values you are going to read? The value which you are going to pass in input element, and the name of that input element is, first name is T1, second name is T2. So you will write here PHP echo, this is name of the variable, super global variable, and here name of input element T1. Next, your email address is, again next line of code for PHP, that is for T2. Write this code, save this file as name of the file whatever you want .php, but make sure that this file name should be same with this file name as you already given here, sample form.php. So I am going to save my file here as sample form.php, where same in the C drive XAMPP folder htdocs. Save here. Next, go to your browser, run, write the file path as http colon localhost Name of the port, if you changed, if you doesn't change, no need to write number of the port. Next, sample form dot html. You need to run the HTML file first. Sample form.html, you will get this output. Next, enter the name whatever you want. Suppose I wrote here Shreyas. Next, email ID shreyas@gmail.com. This is any name I passed. Next, once I submit, see, just check what are the changes are going to happen. Once I click on this submit button, see what here changed happens. Here automatically sample form.php file open. Then our browser given here one question mark symbol. After that, what we got? T1 equal to Shreyas and T2 equal to Shreyas. This %40 is the code of @ gmail.com and name of your submit button, that is button 1. This T1 is name of your text box, this T2 is name of your email ID text box, and this button 1 is name of your button. And here the values like Shreyas and whatever the value given as email ID and value of the submit button, that is submit. So here the code for PHP file whatever we wrote here, it will give the output as per that code, like welcome Shreyas, your email address is shreyas@gmail.com. So whatever the values we passed, that values we got in our address bar. Whatever the values we passed, that values we got in our address bar. That is T1 equal to Shreyas, T2 equal to Shreyas@gmail.com and name of the button. So this is for get method. Now we will go for post method. Same code we need to write, just change in method equal to write name of the method as post. Okay, in HTML file, what change you need to do? Write method attribute and pass the value as post. Next, in second file, here you need to change your super global as post. You need to change your super global as $_post. POST. We will save our changes. Again we'll go to our file. I'm going to refresh the file. See, value is gone. Here I will pass other values. See, as Mahesh. Next I will pass mahi@abc.com. Next, when I click on submit, here my browser took me to the PHP file. See here, sample form.php. Next, welcome Mahesh, your email ID is mahi@abc.com, but I didn't get values in address bar. See, when we used get method, what happened? I got whatever the values of that form, I got that values, that variables in my address bar after the name of this URL. This is what? This is the name of URL, Universal Resource Locator. And after the URL, I got name of variables or values of variables. But when I used post method, I didn't get any variables or any value of that variable in address bar. That means when we use get method, get method, everyone can see the variables and value of that variables in the URL, after the URL string. But when we use post method, we are not able to see the values after URL string. So this is the main difference. In PHP form handling, we use two methods. First is get method, second one is post method. When we use these methods in PHP file, we are using the variables as get and post, which are acts as super globals, and these are used to collect the form data. Next we will see what are the differences in this get method and post method. First difference is information is passed via the URL parameters. We already seen what we have seen. Whatever the information we are passing that form information, we are able to see that information as URL parameters. And when we are using post method, then we are not able to see any information, as it passed that information by using HTTP post method. This is the main difference. Information is passed via URL parameter. In this, information is passed via HTTP post method. Next difference is information sent from a form by this method is visible to everyone. Once we pass the information, we are able to see the information. But in case of post method, information sent from a form by this method is invisible to everyone, which we are not able to see. Next, then obviously as we are passing the information in URL parameter, it will have certain limit. So it has limits on the amount of information to send. We can send limited amount of information by using get method, but by using post method, we has no limits. We didn't have any limit, or we don't have any limit to send information. To send that any amount, we can send any amount of information. The variables, as the variables are displayed in URL, it is possible to bookmark the page. We can bookmark the page as we can see the variables in URL. But here in post method, we are not able to display variables in URL, so we can't bookmark the page also. Next, last difference is what? If we want to send sensitive data, then we can't use this get method. We want to send some secret information like ID, password, then we should not use this get method. But by using post method, we can send any type of data, sensitive, non-sensitive, or we can upload the files, big files also. But in case of get methods, we can't send sensitive data, but we can send non-sensitive data. And if we want to send small amount of information, use get method. You want to send big amount of information, you should use post method. So these are the methods used to handle the forms. Which method? First is get and second is post. So by using get method, you can send information via URL parameters. By using post method, you can send information via HTTP post method. Means by using get method, if we send information, we are able to see that information. But by using post method, if we send any information, then we are not able to see that information in URL parameters, in address bar. Next, if we want to send small amount of data, use get method. If we want to send big amount of data, use post method. We can bookmark the page as variables are displayed in URL, but we can't bookmark the page as variables are not displayed in URL. If you want to send non-sensitive data, you don't want to keep any secret data, then use get method. But if you want to send any secret information, any sensitive data, or you want to send upload big files, then you should use post method. So these are two methods. For that, these variable get and variable post are acts as super globals. And what are the use of these super globals? The use of the super globals, they are used to collect form data. They are used to collect form data. Next part is cookies. Cookies means what? Daily we are hearing the words as cookies, sessions. What is mean by cookies? So cookies is small text file that the server sends to user's computer. Once user requests any page, any server page, then we are getting, for example, I am going to browser. Here I am requesting any, for example, I request any Yahoo page. If I request the Yahoo page, then I got the Yahoo page. So whenever I am going to request any server page, cookies are sent along with that request. Then what I got? Cookies I am getting. Means that is small text file that user sends on users, that server sends on users computer. Cookies means what? Whenever we send any request to server, then server sends as a reply that cookie. And that cookie means small text file. That small text file. By using PHP, we can create and we can retrieve cookie values. Cookies store, for example, cookies store visited page on a browser. In our browser history, we have the information of stored visited page. In browser history, we have the information of visited page. That means cookies. That means cookies. Next, sessions. Sessions means what? Session is used to store user information on the server to track user activities. This is used to store user information on the server to track user activity. If server want to keep track of user activities, then that activity is stored in form of session. For example, you go to your Gmail account, log in to that Gmail account, then you will get one option. From that option, you can go to your YouTube account, your Google account, wherever you want. So how you are going? So you are going by using this session. The session helps us to access that other account information. So session means what? It stores user information to keep the track of user activities. Means and it helps web application to maintain user information on all the pages. So for your syllabus, you will just get any objective or any fill in the blanks like that question. What is mean by cookie and what is session? Or you may get a question like dash helps to store user information, or dash helps to server to keep track user activities, to track user activities. So answer will be session. Dash is a small text file that server sends on user's computer. What is mean? That is mean cookies. What is mean by that? That means cookie is a small text file that the server send on the user's computer. So guys, this all about server side scripting. In that what you have seen, server side scripting means introduction. What is mean by server? What is mean by web server? What is mean by PHP? Features of PHP. For that, in that any sample program. Then variables. How we declare the variables? What are the rules to declare the variables? How we can give the name to that variable. Next, scope of the variables means where we can declare and where we can use. That means scope of variables. Next, data types of PHP. Comments. If we want to pass any informative line which will not include in execution, then we need to use comments. How to declare that comments? Next, control statements. In your syllabus you have only if else statement as control statement. Next, loop structure. You have only for loop and for each loop for PHP in your syllabus. Next, which PHP string functions you have. Then PHP arrays. In that type of arrays, how to instantiate the array and how to assign value to that array. Three types of arrays: indexed array, associative array, multidimensional array. How we are declaring? What is mean by indexed array? Array with numeric index. Associative array, array with named keys. And multidimensional array, the array containing one or more arrays. Next is user defined function. How to define that user defined function. Next, function with arguments. Next, how to return value to that function. And next, PHP form handling. In that, methods to handle the PHP form. Which methods? Two methods: get method, post method. Get is default method and this one is post method. What are the differences in these two methods? Next, cookies means what and next session means what. So this is all about with your server side scripting language. Thank you.